Welcome back to Greatest Screenplays. John, today we're diving into a classic, Casablanca. I was just rereading the screenplay, and wow, it holds up.
Absolutely, Emma. It's more than just a movie, it's a masterclass in screenwriting. When you look at why it resonates even now, so much comes down to the sheer brilliance of the screenplay itself.
It's funny, because when you think about it, the core concept is actually pretty simple, right? Wartime romance, a love triangle, but it's how they execute it that's just chef kiss.
Exactly. They take these familiar elements, romance, war drama, even a touch of film noir, and build something incredibly nuanced. It's character-driven storytelling at its finest. Everything stems from who Rick, Ilsa, and Laszlo are as people.
Rick, especially, he's not your typical hero. He's cynical, a bit world-weary, running a nightclub in this chaotic city. But you're immediately drawn to him, aren't you?
Oh, completely. And that cynicism, that flawed exterior, is precisely what makes him so compelling. It's a mask, Underneath, you sense there's a depth, a past. And the screenplay slowly peels back those layers to reveal a truly fascinating
Right.
protagonist.
You want to know what made him so jaded. What's he hiding? And then also walks back into his life.
Which throws everything into turmoil. And it's not just a simple damsel in distress situation either. Ilsa's got her own agency, her own very strong motivations. She's not just there to be rescued or to be a prize.
Definitely not. She's torn between her love for Rick and her commitment to Laszlo and his cause. It's a real conflict, and you feel it in every scene she's in.
And Major Strasser is such a great antagonist. He's not cartoonishly evil. He's just efficient, ruthless, dedicated to his cause. He's a real obstacle for Rick and Laszlo.
Totally. He's a credible threat. And then you have Captain Renault, who's morally ambiguous, playing all sides. It just creates this incredible web of characters.
Exactly. Every supporting character, even minor ones, feels fully realized. Sam, Carl Ugard, they all contribute to the richness of Casablanca as a setting and the story as a whole. It's like a tapestry, woven with all these distinct threads.
And the plot itself, it's so tightly constructed. It's like a textbook example of the three-act structure, isn't it?
Absolutely. Act 1 sets the scene, introduces Rick and his world, and then boom. Ulsa and Laszlo arrive, and the central conflict is ignited. We know what Rick wants, to be left alone, to not be involved. And then we see his deeper need emerge, to rediscover his idealism.
And Act 2 is all about that internal struggle, right? Rick wrestling with his past, with his feelings for Ulsa, and making that impossible choice.
Precisely. It's the rising action, the tension building with every scene, every interaction. And it's all driven by cause and effect. Rick's actions, Ulsa's choices, Renault's manipulations, everything has consequences that propel the story forward.
And then Act 3, that airport scene, it's legendary. The climax, the resolution, the sacrifice.
It's perfectly paced. The tension is almost unbearable. And the payoff, it's not a typical Hollywood happy ending, but it's profoundly satisfying. It resolves the central conflict in a way that's true to the characters and the themes of the film.
It's about sacrifice for the greater good, isn't it? Duty over personal happiness. Themes that really resonate, especially in a wartime context.
Exactly. And even the subplots, the refugees, the black market, the political intrigue, they're not just window dressing. They enrich the main narrative. They deepen the sense of place and the stakes involved.
And it's so visually rich, too. It's not just what they say, but how it's all shown. Show don't tell. They really nailed that, didn't they?
Oh, absolutely. The cinematography, the mise en scène, Casablanca itself is practically a character. The smoky cafes, the bustling streets, the oppressive atmosphere of wartime, it all contributes to the storytelling.
And those movie moments. The La Marseillaise scene, the final farewell at the airport, they're iconic for a reason.
They're grand, yes, but also intimate. Even the smallest gestures, a look between Rick and Ilsa, a subtle nod from Renault, they're all packed with meaning. And that's down to the screenplay knowing exactly what to emphasize, visually and emotionally.
Let's talk about the dialogue. It's so quotable, so sharp, but it's not just witty for the sake of being witty, is it?
No, it's incredibly purposeful. Every line advances the plot, reveals character, or underscores the themes and the subtext. That's where the real magic is. What's unsaid between Rick and Ulsa is often more powerful than what they actually say.
Like, here's looking at you, kid. It's become such a classic line, but it's not just romantic fluff, is it?
Exactly. It's loaded with layers of meaning, longing, nostalgia, and cynicism, even. It encapsulates their entire relationship in that one phrase. And every character has a distinct voice. Rick's world awareness, Elsa's quiet strength, Renault's sardonic humor.
It's amazing how they manage to balance all these elements, romance, suspense, political thriller, even a touch of comedy, without it feeling disjointed.
That's the mastery of the screenplay. It understands genre conventions, but it's not afraid to subvert them, to play with expectations. It uses those familiar tropes as a foundation to build something truly unique and timeless.
So, for aspiring screenwriters listening, what's the big takeaway from Casablanca's screenplay?
Focus on character Emma. Build compelling, complex character with clear wants and needs, and let their choices drive the plot. Master the art of subtext and dialogue, and don't be afraid to use familiar genre elements. But always strive to create something original, something that resonates emotionally with your audience. Casablanca shows us that even within a seemingly simple framework, you can achieve true screenwriting greatness. It's a testament to the power of a well-crafted screenplay.
Beautifully said, John. Casablanca truly earns its place as one of the greatest screenplays ever written. Thanks for breaking it down with me.
My pleasure, anytime.